What's up? Welcome to the Borty and Nihar Show.
Yes, sir. How you been, Borty?
What's up, bro? How have you been?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm so excited about this. You know, it's been a long time coming, but here we are.
Yeah, as you know, this is our first podcast. We're going to try our best to do a somewhat comprehensive podcast and we're going to be talking about football. We're going to be talking about basketball. I think right now we're just going to be mainly talking about football because football's in session right now. So that's what we're going to do. And we got Nihar here. Nihar's a comedian, so we'll always get something. We'll get something to get you guys laughing at. But right now, this awkward introduction.
Dude, the hot takes will be coming. I'm going to give you 100% cold, hard facts.
Okay. I can't wait. This is going to be a good show. If you guys stay tuned for the whole thing or just skip around, I don't know. Do whatever the hell you want, all right? So we're going to get started. We're going to be talking about some of the things that have happened in the NFL for the past week. So we're going to react to some things. Then we're going to talk about the Thursday night game that happened yesterday. This is filmed on a Friday. Hopefully I'm not lazy enough such that this comes out on Friday or Saturday and before a Sunday. So let's try and get that out too. Also, let's just go back to the summary. We're going to have the reaction for Thursday night game. Like I said, we're going to talk about who's going to win the AFC West. And then obviously
Russell Wilson, baby,
okay,
let's go.
We'll get to that. But we'll also talk about, because obviously we're in the Bay Area and the Niners are my team. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys watching too are Niners fans. So we'll talk about the Niners a bit. And then we're going to wrap it up with who is going to win on Sunday and who's going to win on Monday night. So you ready, Nihar, for our first podcast?
Oh, yeah, let's get into this, man.
Dude, I cannot wait. We're going to get started with the top things that have happened in the last week. So let's first talk about, so apparently the Washington Commanders, their team store was selling mugs, and those mugs had the state of Washington with them instead of the Washington's in DC, bro. Their team's in DC. Why are they selling mugs with the Washington State logo on it?
I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised. What more can you expect from a team that called themselves the football team at one point? So, this is not surprising. But you know what? They do have a promising future. I like how they have Carson Wentz, so maybe this might get them something to be excited about. Who knows? So,
yeah, I mean, this is a bad start for the Commanders franchise. If you're selling mugs, you can't even get your own location right. So, dude, what is this team, bro? This team is such a random team. Dan Snyder's on a boat instead of going to congressional hearings and stuff like that. There's just a lot of dysfunction going on in this organization. Washington's Washington.
Hey,
bro.
Even in spite of all that dysfunction, you just got to keep pushing through it all, man.
No, man.
Wait.
So this is news. Apparently, Nihar's now a diehard Carson Wentz fan. Is that true?
Honestly, I've always liked Carson Wentz. I felt like, to me, he kind of reminds me of Russell Wilson, the way he gets criticized so unfairly by everyone. And also the fact that he's almost won an MVP before. If he didn't get hurt, he wins an MVP. And, he's been traded from team to team. Jim Irsay threw him under the bus.
Oh, my God.
And let me tell you something. Hey, let me tell you something. The Washington Commanders are going to win their division, and they're going to make the playoffs.
Wait. You think Washington Commanders are going to win the division?
Yeah, they are. They're going to beat the Eagles to win the division. Let me tell you why. Wait.
What?
Yeah, bro. Carson Wentz is better than Jalen Hurts, and he has his best group of receivers ever. Carson Wentz, these are his best weapons he's ever had. They're winning the division.
What about the Eagles?
No. Do you trust Jalen Hurts?
I mean, he has a good... Wait, they did so well on week 1 against the Lions.
So did the Commanders.
They barely beat Jacksonville. They came back last minute.
Jacksonville's a better team than Detroit. And Carson Wentz threw 4 touchdowns. He threw 4.
Wait. You think Jacksonville's a better team than Detroit?
Yeah.
But no. Detroit, have you seen Hard Knocks? I haven't seen Hard Knocks.
No,
but
I
what
haven't
I've
either.
okay, but I know Detroit has I know that their mantra this season is that they're finally going to go and get it. And
yeah,
I believe them. I believe them.
Even last year, they were in a bunch of close games too, but did they win? No, it's going to be the same thing this year. The Lions are the Lions. They're not going to do anything.
All right. Well, we'll let the people decide if you guys think Washington's going to win the division. No, I think Philadelphia's winning that division. Agree to disagree.
Carson Wentz going to prove everybody wrong.
But,
Trust
you know,
me.
I'm
Carson
telling
Wentz is
you,
a franchise
a
quarterback.
team that has the Washington State on their mugs doesn't sound like a functional team to me.
And that team's going to make the playoffs.
No,
that's
they're
what's
not.
Happen.
They're not.
That's what's going to happen.
All right, fine. Moving on. We're going to talk about this. Another thing that happened. The Bears getting a 15-yard penalty for drying the field. I was watching that game live, and I've never seen anything like that.
That was the first time I saw that, and I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I see a towel on the field, and my first reaction is, of course the Bears do this. This is the most Bears thing ever.
So are the Bears cursed this season too, or are they finally turning things around? I mean, they did win week 1.
I mean, to be fair, I would say that game favored the Bears more because of the weather.
Yeah.
And also, I guess Bears are probably used to playing in that weather more.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that more when we get to the 49ers. But in terms of the Bears' outlook of the whole season, you think the Bears finally got it this time, or you think it's going to be another disappointing season for them?
That offensive line is way too shaky. I saw, Justin Fields getting pressure. To be fair, the 49ers' defensive line is good, but I don't think they really upgraded their offensive line. And I mean, look at his weapons, with all due respect. Equanimous St. Brown's not going to win you a division. I'm sorry. I mean, he might be a good player. You know what I'm saying? Equanimous St. Brown. I mean, 49ers legend Dante Pettis right there.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Got a touchdown, you guys.
Dude, I can't believe Pettis scored a touchdown on us. He thought, bro, he must have been so gassed at the end of the game. He must have been like, yeah, I beat my old team in your face, man. Bro, Dante Pettis, shut the hell up, bro. All right. And then getting past that, another thing that's in the news is Brett Favre taking welfare funds from Mississippi. Bro,
I mean, if you're going to be a criminal, at least be better at it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
If you're going to be I hope the media doesn't find out about this. I mean, dude, of course they're going to find out all these text messages, they always get leaked one way or another. But on a more serious note though.
Wait, yeah, cuz Brett Favre also had his genitals leaked too. Wasn't that also a text message
he had
as well?
a text message
bro,
with
this
the
guy
masseuse
cannot.
or something. Yeah.
This guy needs to be better with his phone,
I mean,
bro.
on a more serious note though, I mean, he's worth what, $100 million, and you needed to ask the at that time governor of Mississippi.
It's so sad, dude. And it's for his daughter volleyball team.
Yeah, for his daughter's volleyball team.
University of Southern Mississippi. Bro, wait, University of Southern Mississippi is also catching flack for this too, right? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're allowing that, taking welfare money from... Bro, they can't even get water, proper water in Mississippi as well.
Jackson, Mississippi is struggling with building their water infrastructure. They're getting really contaminated water. And also stealing welfare funds. Mississippi, I heard it's the poorest state in the country. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, bro. What can we say to Brett Favre, bro? Brett Favre. I mean, I've never watched Brett Favre play. I started watching football after Brett Favre, but man, he just seems like he just does not give a shit about poor
it's
people
shady.
and people.
It's just a shady
bro
business that is, and also why couldn't you help build that stadium?
Yeah, I'm sure you got tons of money and you could find better avenues for that money.
Yeah, you could still get. I think you could still get government contracts and stuff like that. But to use welfare funds, that's just what makes it really sick. So
yeah, well, Brett Favre, shame on you, bro. Do better. That's all I can say. And then the next thing is Joe Burrow after the game. This guy didn't shower, didn't change. Didn't do anything of that sort. He was still wearing his uniform, and he was sitting in his locker, just staring forward after the game ended. What is going through Joe Burrow's mind right now? He has a week. Now it's been a week after. I mean, almost a week after the game has ended. So, what do you think Joe Burrow's mindset is right now?
I just think look, they were lucky to even be in that game. If you have 5 turnovers with 4 interceptions. You should be business winning that game or even being in that game.
What's your opinion on Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow, he had a good year last year. I think a lot of that has to do with having his old college teammate Jamar Chase. That's why I think on another topic we'll get to later. That's why I think Derek Carr, had immediate success with Devontae. They were college teammates.
Yeah.
They were able to click really fast. Same thing with with Burrow and Chase. I feel that's opened up the offense. When you got T. Higgins, when you got Boyd with the Mixon.
Yeah.
Those I feel that system. Those
you think that was a fluke season with Bengals getting all the way to the Super Bowl?
maybe that run might have been a fluke, but they could still be a playoff team. The Bengals are always will always be a playoff team, but I don't know if like they'll get to that level again. I feel like the Chiefs won't be dumb like last year. The Bills are even better than before. So, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think the Bengals were kind of a fluke last season, and Joe Burrow.
Is he a bust?
Well, I mean, he's not a bust now. I mean, okay, so for those who don't know, I've been calling Joe Burrow a bust since he got picked. And clearly that has not worked well in my favor because this guy just went to a Super Bowl. He's not going to be a bust. I think he's a mediocre quarterback, and he finally got a good weapon. That was Jamar Chase. I mean, bro, if I was working somewhere, right, and I had my childhood friend coming in and working with me, I would I think my productivity would increase tremendously as well. From that original, and from where I was originally,
and working with someone really well, that'll make the work more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you want to go and do community service, you grab some friends to do it with you. It's I know the feeling what it's like when you're trying to do some sort of community service and you feel kind of out of it or left. You kind of feel alienated because it's kind of you're kind of doing it. You kind of feel alone in the process. But if you bring people in, then you don't feel like you're alone in this process of trying to get something done. And as a result, you do a much better job. So I think like all of Joe Burrow's success right now is attributed to Jamar Chase being there. And I think the Bengals are very lucky that they were able to get Jamar Chase. But now, I think the league is starting to figure out that, or I hope the league figures out, and hopefully I'm right about this, that, Jamar Chase is the one that's making Joe Burrow. And the Bengals are not going to be that great this season because they're going to figure a way to lock down Jamar Chase. Now, hats off. I think Jamar Chase is a phenomenal player. So I'm not giving hate to Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase, but I just don't think I think the Bengals are a fluke team. They won it one time, and I don't think they're going to get back to the Super Bowl with Joe Burrow.
When a quarterback is taking that many sacks, like that was a rarity. Like a quarterback takes 70 sacks, and even one game, the Titans game, he was sacked 9 times in one game, and they still won. Like you can't go to the Super Bowl every year like that. That's just not going to happen. And when a quarterback takes that many hits, we saw what happened with Andrew Luck, right? Like he took so many sacks. He took so many hits. Like his body just like gave up and he just retired,
and you're staring out into space, not changing your clothes, not worried, not thinking about the next thing. Bro, it's only week 1. Bro, if you're going to lose a ton more games, you're not going to lose this week. You're going to beat Dallas. But you're going to lose a ton more games. If you're going to be like that after week 1 against a division opponent, you have another 17 to 18 weeks left. I mean, obviously including the bye 18 weeks. That you shouldn't be this depressed right now about a game loss. But I don't think that's building character.
I guess
don't
that
think
has more to do with it's a rivalry. I guess with the Steelers, it's like, they always have that thing,
I don't think Joe Burrow, and then if my team lost to a divisional rival week 1, like Packers, like Aaron Rodgers ain't doing that with the losing to the Vikings. He was on Pat McAfee's show and he was acting like, oh yeah, it's on to the next team. It's on to the Bears. So that's what you want from a quarterback. You want a short-term memory. Otherwise, they're going to let your previous performances affect you in your future performances.
Like Bill Belichick said, on to Cincinnati. So got to have that mentality. So,
yeah. Anyways, and then the last thing that we want to talk about from, what's been talked about so often on the internet is yesterday night, Travis Kelce got absolutely obliterated by Derwin James. And we'll be thinking about,
that was a
Derwin
fumble,
James.
by the way. They should have given that fumble just because how great of a play that was. There's no way you bail out like the Chiefs offense again like that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that deserved to be a fumble and a turnover for the Chargers. But you know what? Like that's like me like lifting you up and just like throwing you to the ground. Like,
but Kelce did give Derwin James credit. Like he said,
that's like me doing that to you.
Yeah, but he gave him credit. He said there's few safeties that are able to do what Derwin James did. He did give him credit because, he says some safeties, they lay out their entire body weight to do their tackle, but Derwin James knows how to actually lay the wood. So he gave Derwin James his flowers. What do you think?
Gronk's not going down like that. So never compare Kelce to Gronk. Gronk is not going down like that.
Oh my God. Well, you think Gronk? Wait, where does Kelce rank in your top tight ends of all time?
Top tight ends? I mean, I haven't watched a bunch of tight ends over the years. He's definitely top 3 for sure.
But you're saying Gronk, like you're
From
saying
what I've
Gronk-
watched, Gronk is the greatest tight end of all time.
Okay. All right. And would you say Kelce? Who's better right now, Kelce or Kittle? I mean, also Kittle's injured a lot, but who would you pick over Kelce or Kittle?
Because of durability, I would have to give the slight edge to Kelce. But if I had a healthier option, I would want to have Kittle because Kittle could also pass block, or he could run block. He's more well-rounded than Kelce. So
you'd take Kelce, but you still think Gronk is the best.
I'll take Kittle. Sorry, I meant Kittle.
Oh, you take a healthy Kittle over Kelce.
Yeah.
And then you take Kelce just generally.
Because Kittle could do everything that I want from a tight end, plus also catch and get those yards that I need, like a security blanket. So
yeah, I mean, the fact that Derwin James, man, he's a beast right now, and the Chargers. I mean, how are they looking right now, you think?
Man, with that Herbert injury, we'll see.
Do we know what the status is for Herbert?
Oh, they said it's day to day.
Day to day.
He got I don't know, something with his like.
Well, okay. Why don't we let's talk about the game in general, right? The Chargers were off to a hot start. They were up 17-3,
17-7.
17-7.
So they got out to 10-0, and then the Chiefs have a good drive. They cut it to 3.
Yeah, the Chargers were looking really good, and then I'm sure at that point people were like, okay, Justin Herbert's now actually making a case for the division.
On that when it was 17-7, actually, Asante Samuel actually had that interception. He should have caught it cleanly at first, but after the replay, he had control of it. They should have given the interception.
They called it an incomplete pass.
Yeah, they called it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And on that very same possession, I think J.C. Jackson, I think he overplayed that ball by Patrick Mahomes he threw, and it went straight to Justin Watson. So
Oh my God! But then the Chiefs scored 17 unanswered points, bro. 17 unanswered points, and how does that happen, bro?
That pick six, what we were talking about, that changed the entire game. That's when the game was over, pretty much. Even though there was a lot of time.
That was the turning point.
Because here's what happened, right? What Justin Herbert should have done. The thing was, before that play, Everett had a huge gain or something like that. He had a 30-yard gain. I don't know what it was, 20, 30 yards.
Yeah.
He was tapping out.
He was tapping out.
He was tapping his helmet saying, hey, I want to be on the sideline. But Justin Herbert was like, no, we got to do a tempo offense. Why didn't he do a tempo? The thing. What do
you think they should have done in that situation?
No, just take their time. Even they were at the 3-yard line, right? Run a run play. You have Austin Eckler. Why wasn't Eckler being used more in these goal line situations?
Sounds hella similar to the Seahawks, huh? On the 1-yard line, Super Bowl 49.
Man, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, well,
that'll be another podcast.
That's another time, another thing. But Herbert's ribs, man, bro, this guy was running for the first down, and then he was like, "Oh man, I can't do it." He just throws the football off, and then the next play, as if he did not even have a single rib injury, just zips it, lasers it, fourth and goal.
Wait, how does that work? I swear, was he just trying to run, and that's why he was getting pain on that 3rd and 1? I think he was trying to run for the first.
And it was wide open. The first down was right in front of him.
He could have just ran for it, right?
He could have, yeah.
And then he just throws without any effort. It was just effortless. Just throws a 40-yard dot.
It was a zip, bro. You would have thought he didn't have a rib injury.
Yeah, even healthy quarterbacks can't make those throws. The fact that he did that with that kind of injury, man, that's crazy.
Bro, I'm telling you, Herbert is special, but I don't know. What is the rest of the season gonna look like with the Chargers? Let's look at the Chargers schedule, okay? We got they're gonna play Jacksonville, they're gonna play Houston, Cleveland, Denver, Seattle, and that's until the bye.
I honestly think the games before Denver, they're winnable even without Justin Herbert. Maybe the Jaguars game might be a trap game without Justin Herbert, because last year we saw that the Texans beat the Chargers when the Chargers needed to win that game to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers fumbled the bag a lot of times. Yeah. They fumbled the bag a lot of times. But do you think they'll fumble the bag a lot of times this time? I mean, they quite literally did fumble the bag. They literally did.
This was their game. They were supposed to win
this game.
They had all the momentum. Even without Keenan Allen, you're supposed to win that game.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the Chargers still got it. I think they just had a bad game. And if Justin Herbert's still healthy, this team is still probably a 11-win team, 11 to 12-win team.
My thing about everyone Justin Herbert, he's a very good player. He's made some incredible throws. But the Chargers always just shoot themselves in the foot. I need to see like moments where the Chargers come up big. You're like, wow, like this is where the Chargers finally broke through. They overcame their demons.
Like a clutch play. Because we saw them. We needed Herbert was clutch against the Raiders in Week 18. He was clutch.
He was, but like, where was that earlier in the game, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like,
clutch is a late game thing, bruh.
No, but sometimes like you shoot yourself so much behind, like you have to put yourself in that
Brady,
position.
Okay, to be fair, Brady does that a lot too. Like he's always put in a late game situation where he wins, and then he wins, and that's why he's the GOAT. That's why everyone says Brady's the GOAT.
Brady's like trailing behind like a lot the entire game. That's very rare.
28-3.
Okay. I mean, of course, like, except that one. Even Seattle, he was down 24-14. And
he's been down 10 and he's been down. He's been down, and he comes back and wins. And Herbert and Herbert's shown to tie the game up late and get the game close. And I don't know. We're still waiting for that clutch Chargers team.
And this year, they can't have an excuse like they don't have a defense. Last year, I understand. Their defense was atrocious last year.
Now.
This year, when you had Mac, when you have J.C. Jackson, Derwin James is healthy.
Yeah.
Your defense is showing up. They've showed up the past few weeks.
Yeah.
The offense has actually been a little bit concerning.
Really?
In terms of like...
But like, okay, he's still connecting with Keenan Allen. Okay, Keenan Allen was also injured.
Producing, though.
No, Eckler was playing good, though. Eckler was playing decent. When they hand the ball off or throw the ball, dump the ball off to Eckler, he's like, whoa, he was like zigzagging his way to the first down. He was doing a pretty good job.
I mean, I don't know. I've just seen a lot more from Eckler last year, like that I haven't seen so far from the sample size of these 2 games.
Sample size has only been 2 games, but I think the Chargers still have a good season. You think the Chargers still have a good season?
I think so because you know what, the AFC West, like iron sharpens iron, so they have to play their best.
So, let's talk about the Chiefs too. Like, what's the rest of their season going to be like? Is it going to be another Chiefs season where they absolutely dominate the league and go deep into the playoffs? Or you think they're going to actually struggle a little bit this time? Because let's be honest, week 1, we don't know. Week 1 is week 1. Nobody really, people don't want to think week 1 is indicative of the whole season, which honestly it isn't, right? Remember the Packers were down 38-3 against the Saints, and then they still found a way to win it all up to the point where they got choked by your boy, the 49ers. But they still were considered they were still the number 1 seed. They still dominated the whole regular season. You think the Chiefs are still dominating this whole regular season?
They're going to end up with a pretty good record. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to dominate the games, the way we're used to seeing.
You don't think so?
Even yesterday, I mean, except for that one Justin Watson play, and that one Edwards-Helaire run that was which was unexpected. Like, I didn't know Edwards-Helaire had that kind of speed.
2-0 right now, and they're playing the Colts next week.
So
you think the Colts game could be an upset?
I think it could be I got to see how the Colts played this week too.
Yeah.
Because it was concerning how they were down 20-3 against the Texans.
Yeah.
And then they're becoming a tie, Texans. So we don't know.
But the Texans, I feel like people are undersleeping on Davis Mills a bit, but that's a topic for another time.
Oh yeah, I just want to say one more thing about the Chiefs.
What's up?
I think they're gonna miss Tyreek Hill a lot. I think you noticed that yesterday without the explosive plays, and also I'll give the Chiefs their credit on this one. Like, they found a way to win. You can say, this guy dropped a pick.
Albeit a lucky pick 6, you'd say.
Yeah, that's the thing though.
It's a lucky pick 6.
The interceptions, the interception that actually counted was the Herbert one.
Yeah.
Those kind of mistakes you got to know you cannot make against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, some way or another, they will make you pay.
Yeah.
So
you got to play perfect against the Chiefs. And honestly, I think the Chiefs are winning 13 games. I mean, dude, they might go 5-0.
They have a kind of tough schedule. I mean, it's not like super tough, but okay, the Colts won't be easy. The Buccaneers certainly won't be easy. The Raiders at home, the Chiefs own the Raiders. They've been owning them. Even though with Javonte, they still own them.
Yeah.
And the Bills will be tough too. And we'll see.
That's
how the
thing,
Niners
bro. They can go
5-0
and they can. I think the Bills are legit this year. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. But yeah, the Chiefs are still going to be hot stuff. But if they really do miss Tyreek Hill, they're going to be dropping a lot of those easily winnable games. Who are they playing next? The Colts. So if they lose to the Colts and then they start losing to the Bills, they lose to the 49ers, they lose to all these teams, then they are missing Tyreek Hill. But, that's enough about the Chiefs. Let's just talk about that whole division now. Who you think's gonna win the AFC West, Nihar?
Listen, man, I know it was a bad game, and it looked kind of ugly, but I still believe in my boy Russell Wilson. You know what?
Oh my God.
No. Let me tell you something. He was there to change the culture of this team. Since 2015, since that Super Bowl win, Super Bowl 50, they haven't even made the playoffs. Who have they had? They've had like Teddy Bridgewater. They've had Paxton Lynch, Drew Lock, a bunch of quarterbacks like whom even I can throw better than. All right, let's be real, like dude, like I'm probably winning more games than them. All right,
You're winning more games than Paxton Lynch.
Yeah,
Yo,
Paxton
Lynch.
Well, has Paxton?
Yo, Pax.
Did
I would
Paxton
not
Lynch
be
win a
taking
game? Did
this.
Paxton Lynch win a game?
Did he? I actually don't know.
I don't know. See, that's the thing.
I don't think so.
Probably did he? I don't think so. Here's the thing. Russ rightfully left the Seahawks because they were not providing him with what he wanted. He wanted an offensive line. They never gave him that.
And then what? He was 4th and 5. He could have thrown the ball, got a first down. They still had, 2 timeouts remaining?
They had all 3.
They had all 3 timeouts remaining. And instead, your head coach, because apparently you're now a Broncos fan. You're
I'm
not
a Russell Wilson fan.
Yeah,
so wherever Russ goes,
this
I
guy
go.
was a Seahawks fan for 10 years. Now
Fuck
he's a
the
Broncos.
Seahawks.
Okay, hella. But you're a Broncos fan now. This is your first year as a Broncos fan. And your first game, your head coach would do exactly what Pete Carroll would do. He didn't trust Russell Wilson with the ball. He put Brandon McManus out there. And everyone's been talking about how unlikely it is to make a 60-plus yard field goal away in Seattle. This isn't Denver. And he's taking that over Russell Wilson throwing a 5-plus yard pass and call a timeout and make it easier for Brandon McManus. Bro, what is your team doing? How are they going to win the AFC West with this mentality?
Listen, all right? Look, week 1, I was really mad because I was thinking, look, here we go again. Russell Wilson not having the help of his coaches letting him down, his staff letting him down, his teammates letting him down, fumbling twice at the 1-yard line, which hasn't happened since 1987. Russell Wilson was able to move the ball down every time in the red zone, in field goal range, whatever it is. They only punted once the entire game. So don't tell me, the Seahawks figured him out. They didn't. All right, the Seahawks are still a sad franchise. They're salty.
God.
You know what?
Dude.
Hold on. I want to take a moment to roast the fans who booed him. All right, how classless do you have to be to boo a guy that made your franchise relevant? You would literally be nothing without him. You would be nothing. The fact.
Yeah, no, I do agree. That was a bit messed up on the Seattle fans. That guy delivered you a Super Bowl.
Not even a tribute video. Not at least for every player who was there, at least your great players, you gotta at least have a tribute video. And then you know what? They had that hit piece article a week before the game saying, Russell Wilson, was complaining behind the scenes and all this stuff. I'm you're acting like they didn't want to trade him in 2017 and 2018.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember though that time when they wanted to trade him for the first overall pick, which would end up being Baker Mayfield? And apparently those reports, they're also saying that John Schneider was watching Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, especially the Josh Allen one. Dude, that year, by the way, he led the league in touchdowns with the worst rated offensive line, and you want another quarterback? That's just so disrespectful. And also, one more thing.
Oh my
no,
God.
No. I want to get into this.
Okay, fine. Tell me.
No, I'm gonna go off.
Go off.
Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are not thriving in that offense.
In Seattle.
They've ended up.
Or in Denver.
Patrick Mahomes ended up having the greatest offensive coach possible with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, guiding him. There's no way you're telling me Patrick Mahomes would be putting up those numbers with another system, and Josh Allen wouldn't have been putting up those numbers with anyone other than Brian Daboll, right? So what are you trying to see? You think that those quarterbacks would have been in that system and done as good of a good job as Russell Wilson, if not better? Hell no. Russell Wilson made you guys. Russell Wilson is the Seattle Seahawks. He was the Seattle Seahawks for the last 5 to 6 years. All right.
God.
Once the Legion of Boom left, Russell Wilson got even better, and you still didn't get him any help. And of course at the end he wanted to leave and he wanted to paint him as a villain. Now, you guys are the ones that are incompetent. Yeah, fine. Celebrate your little Super Bowl, all right? Like, you had your other Super Bowl. Like, have fun with that. But guess what? Seahawks, you're not making the playoffs. You're going to be irrelevant for the next 5 years. Russell Wilson.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. I give it because Russell Wilson, I think he's going to be at the Broncos for the next 5 to 7 years. So when you compare Russell Wilson's next 5 years to the Seahawks 5 years, you're going to see it. That Seahawks are going to be a poverty franchise. DK Metcalf's going to request a trade. Tyler Lockett might be on a new team as well. But Russell Wilson will be the one thriving. While salty members from the Legion of Boom, I love you, Sherman, but Russell Wilson's been rent-free in your head lately. All right? While Russell Wilson still plays at the highest of high levels, all right?
Okay, but we have not seen anything yet. Did this guy... His coaches don't believe in him. Why?
No. Here's
what is his coach doing?
Here's what's happening. All right. I think I was able to tell while watching the game. They had 3 timeouts. Right. It was a 4th and 5. They wanted to run a play so that let's say they don't get the 4th and 5. Right.
Yeah.
You still have your 3 timeouts. If your defense gets a 3 and out, their defense was playing good the second half, and especially that 4th quarter.
How much time was left on the clock?
It was like, there was like 40
they ran
seconds.
the clock down too. They ran the clock down to 20 seconds.
No. I mean,
why didn't Peyton Manning was literally like, "Yo, call a timeout." What are you guys doing on the Manning cast?
I think Russell Wilson wanted to call a play. He said after I think the post game interview or like at the Broncos like media session that I had a play in mind for that 4th and 5. I was gonna call something. I think Hackett wanted to go for the field goal. He wanted to do something else. There was a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah, well, you can't have that miscommunication if you want to make a Super Bowl run. If you want to let Russ cook, you cannot be having miscommunication with your top-tier quarterback.
And that's the thing. These kind of mistakes can be easily fixed. Like, there's no way the 2 running backs are going to fumble at the 1-yard line, and the Broncos are going to have 12 penalties for 106 yards. The Seahawks got 40% of their first downs on Broncos defensive penalties. That's not going to happen again. Like, think about that, right? Let's say like you're telling a team like, hey, let's say your team has a chance to have a game-winning field goal despite you fumbling twice at the 1-yard line and your defense putting you in compromising positions. Would you take that? Yeah, of course I want to drive at the end with a game-winning field goal. I'll take that 11 out of 10 times, all right? So that's what it is. Then so be it.
But, he admitted to saying that was a mistake. He should have let Russell Wilson throw on 4th and 5.
Yeah, of course, because you know what? By that time, you're on the hot seat, Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh
He's realizing it.
Wait, right. You're saying he's already on the hot seat?
Yes, I'm putting Nathaniel Hackett on the hot seat. Yes,
he's already putting Nathaniel Hackett on the hot seat.
What are you talking about? He is.
Yeah. Well, I feel like every time Russell was
egregious of a call. Well, okay, listen. I said a lot of shit about Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll didn't do anything that dumb.
Yeah, throwing at the 1-yard line.
No, this is probably dumber, honestly.
You think that's dumber?
Because
it's only week 1 versus the Super Bowl.
No, but like a 64-yard field goal. Okay, look, the Super Bowl, here's the thing, right? Like, if you ran a proper play for a 1-yard line, yeah, you could have executed it better. Like, you could still run. You still see many teams running passing plays at the 1-yard line. They'll do a fake play action and, lob it to their tight end. That's like the classic play. Mm-hmm. So you execute like a proper passing play at the 1-yard line, then it's not dumb because I see a lot of teams do it. So it's just the play was dumb because it's like a slant route. And like not a slam, but it was just like the guy was just trying to.
What, in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
bro, that was so long ago, bro.
It was like a screen pass or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the Broncos have another chance. It's only week 1, so
beat the
we'll
Texans.
see.
Come on, you gotta beat the Texans.
I mean, right now saying the Broncos are winning the AFC West is a bit egregious. But hey, who do I think is gonna win the AFC West? I think it's still the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, based on what I've seen, the Kansas City Chiefs are still that team as the dog barks behind us. Dogs ain't chirping, bro. But I think Kansas City's winning it. Kansas City's up 2-0. They've gotten away with the Chargers. They're in the Chargers' heads now, and they got that over them. They still own the Raiders. The Broncos need to figure it out.
Yeah, they own the Broncos too because, they've had incompetent quarterbacks. So, yeah, you could say they own the Broncos
but right now, there is
everyone
a good
but
fight.
The Chargers, but they own that division in general.
Okay, I think Kansas City's winning that division. So,
I think to be fair, like,
what?
Yeah, like, I understand why you're picking the Chiefs because, like, they've had years of dominance and, like, why would you go against the grain, right?
And right now it's looking good. It's looking like they're the ones. They are on top, right? They're the only 2-0. Yeah. They're the only team.
Don't worry,
that's
when
2-0.
it's 1-1, when the season starts to
Chargers
heat up,
are 1-1, Raiders are 0-1, and then the Broncos are 0-1. Yeah.
it's okay. Both the Raiders and Broncos will be 1-1 by the end of the week. So
Well, yeah, but I mean, right now, Chiefs looking good. But how about the Raiders? How would you rate their performance?
it's the first time, new coaching staff, new receivers. I think Devontae Adams is great. Like he's phenomenal.
They look really good
their
together.
Their connection is good, but sometimes I felt he was force feeding it too much. And also really on that one of the interceptions, he underthrew Adams. Adams beat the guy. He should have thrown it earlier, but Derek Carr underthrew that and it was picked off.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you got to spread it out more. You got to get Waller involved more. You got to get Renfro involved more. The guy's nickname is Third and Renfro.
Yeah, hopefully the Raiders can. I think the Raiders made some mistakes. They'll click together and then they'll figure things out.
And also get Josh Jacobs involved in the offense. That guy's a stud at running back.
Yeah.
He can catch passes in the backfield. He can.
Yeah, he was torching it
run
up
through the
Yeah,
blockers.
I remember
Josh
he torched
Jacobs,
it up.
Josh Jacobs is a good player. Use him more. That'll free up a lot of the offense.
So I think the Raiders have more time. They can figure things out. Not a bad. I mean, they kind of got off to a sloppy start, but I think they can fix things.
And here's the thing, right? They threw Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions, really bad plays.
Yeah, really bad.
They only lost by 5. I would say, in spite of all that, I would say, I'm pretty encouraged. I could see, okay,
so.
we cut.
You say they have a good chance of winning the division.
And that was Derek Carr. That was his career high 3 interceptions. He never threw more than 2 picks in a game. So that was the first time he threw.
Well, a lot of people are doubting Carr
picks.
right now. They're saying is Carr the guy holding the Raiders back?
No, I disagree with that. You saw with the roster he had last year, led them to the playoffs, despite all that dysfunction with Gruden, with Ruggs.
That's fair.
Carr showed he is that guy last year.
Okay.
I just think, with the new head coach and, new receiver, with that offense, they need more time to just gel. And they even got a new defensive coordinator too, right?
And they look good. I think the Bengals, last season, Jamar Chase always looked good throughout the entire season, even in week 1. And Devontae Adams looks good. I'm sure he's going to look good the entire season.
Oh, he's going to have a great year.
Packers,
when you have that college connection.
Yeah, the Fresno State boys. They're back together, and I'm sure Packers fans are sad about that. But, hey, the Raiders, I think, are going to finally figure this out. And I think, well, what do you think? You think the Raiders are making the playoffs?
Man, I just love that division, man. It's just, I love that division
so you're
so
saying
much.
Broncos are making the playoffs, right? Because
Yeah.
they're first in the division,
Yeah.
according to you. What about the Raiders?
I think they are. I think with how this Herbert injury is playing out and just the Chargers being the Chargers, maybe the Chargers don't make it.
Whoa. Well, we were just talking about Chargers earlier. You were saying the Chargers they're still going to have a good season. So
They will.
how is this going to work?
A 9-8 season could be still good, or even I don't even know if a 10-7 season, with how stacked the AFC is right now, is good enough for the playoffs. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it's Kansas City on top. I think LA takes second. I think Oakland is still trying to figure things out. They'll probably be a 9-8 team, and I think the Broncos will probably be a 9-8, maybe 10-7 team. But I think if I had to pick my two, it'd be the Chargers and Chiefs, based on what I've seen.
honestly, I don't necessarily disagree with that either. I mean, this division's so loaded that anything can happen.
But you're saying what? You're saying Broncos and Raiders. So I'm saying the first two, and you're saying the other two of the division.
Broncos and I think I'll say the Chiefs. Broncos and Chiefs are top two. I think Raiders also. I think 3 teams from that division make the playoffs.
3 teams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. And honestly, all 4 can make the playoffs. And, this playoff format, it's possible for all 4 teams to make the playoffs. So we could. But, yeah, I mean, AFC West, we got 2 different opinions about how the AFC West is going to go. And we got,
Let's ride.
No, they're not riding right now. But we got more time in the season. It's only been week 1 and 1/16 of week 2 done. So we'll see how it goes. But obviously, we got to talk about the 49ers, given that we're right here in the Bay. We both are brought up in the Bay. Our closest team for a while has always been the 49ers. That's been this area's team. So why did they lose to the Bears, bro? What happened?
Number 1, just sloppy play. You saw the first possession, or was it the second possession where Deebo Samuel fumbled in the red zone?
That was a killer. Yeah,
that was a killer. Yeah, and also they just didn't capitalize on the opportunities. Like I guess like Trey Lance also panicked a little bit with his throws. Like there were a bunch of there was that overthrow, right? Do you remember that overthrow to like what was his number 81, like Croft or something? What was his?
He missed him on the
overthrow. I was like, yo, is that like Jimmy Garoppolo back there with the overthrow?
My
Like, I
God.
couldn't tell who the quarterback was at that time, you know?
Bruh. Oh my God. But also, how much does the weather play a factor? Is it even fair to evaluate the 49ers after that game based on how bad the weather was?
I'm not gonna crucify Trey Lance completely, but he did not look great. You know, I mean, I'll technically call him a rookie because it's like his first full year starting. So, you know what? We'll see how he responds against the Seahawks. Like, you better beat the Seahawks, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know the Broncos
this
lost
guy,
to them.
This guy went from
Seahawks
lover to a Seahawks hater.
I know the Broncos lost to them, but you know what? Like, this is a game. Like, 49ers are at home. Like, at least the Broncos, they're on the road. It was like a revenge game. You know, those things are different. You're at home. You're against Geno Smith. I love Geno. He ain't from Reno, but his name is Geno, right? Oh my God! And I love that bar. He spit out at the end of the game. You know, they wrote me off, but
I ain't right back.
Right? You know it. That was a bar.
Bruh.
But guess what? Like, imagine you say that and you miss the playoffs. Like that video is gonna be used against you for your life. Or like if you like lose the starting job to
it's raining. It's raining in Santa Clara, apparently, but it
won't be a monsoon though.
Yeah, it won't be a monsoon, bro. Watching that Bears game, just seeing how much the rain was pouring. Number one, it was reminding me of that 9-0 game against the Washington football team from our Super Bowl season when we went to the Super Bowl, and bro, at one point it was so bad they had the numbers like from the TV onto the field. You could not tell the yard lines. I would look at myself in that weather and I would just think, how can I play in this weather? Like, how is it possible? When I throw the football, it slips off my hand. Even when I'm throwing the football, the rain's hitting it hard enough that the ball is going to, travel less. So, I mean, if I was in Trey Lance's position, bro, I would have given up in that position.
And even also last season, remember against the Colts in Santa Clara, it was raining
really
hard.
Yeah, that was also
Jimmy G
bad.
Was having a tough time in that weather as well. He was not good. And so I think you got to look at it like, hey, like even Jimmy G had like trouble against Washington that Super Bowl year and also against the Colts, right, last year. And even he struggled. So like, how is it fair to, put that all on Trey Lance when even your starter messed up those two games as well? So, I mean, we'll have to see, in better weather. This will be a little better weather, but, it's still not the ideal weather you hope for.
Mm-hmm.
But, I know you're going to have fun at that game, though. So tell everybody, where you're sitting at, tell them about your seats and everything.
Yeah. So your boy, Borty, that's me. I'm going to the game. I'm going to the Niners Seahawks game. I'm going to be sitting nice. I'm going to be sitting in the luxury box. And we're going to see how that game goes. Hopefully, I'm not watching the Niners lose in style. Hopefully, I'm watching them win their first game of the season. And hopefully, the opinion about Trey Lance changes. I hope it does because it looks so bad for Kyle Shanahan. It looks so bad for John Lynch. If, Trey Lance doesn't work, they traded their whole future for Trey Lance, and then they're going back to Jimmy G.
I think also there were some plays which reminded me why, the Niners went with Trey Lance. You saw those third downs where he ran for it, especially that 3rd and 13.
He's got to take better care of himself because if that's going to be all season long, bro, we're going to start Jimmy G. He's going to get hurt. He already got hurt. Like in that 49ers Cardinals game last year, he got hurt, right? He got hurt.
He got a thumb injury or something.
He's hurting. Like, you got to protect the quarterback better. Kyle Shanahan likes to, abuse his players. That's why they're always injured. That's why all our players are always hurt.
That's why literally Debo was, literally on, one leg or something pretty much.
Yeah. The playoffs. No, you got to take care of the players better than that, Kyle. But, yeah, I'm hoping they win. They need that win. Otherwise, it's going to get worse. I'm gonna reserve judgment for Trey Lance until a month. So let's say after week 4, if we're still in a bad situation, bro, then I can see why Trey Lance isn't it.
If you're 1-3, let's say 4 games, you're
1-3. 2-2 will still push back.
2-2 is fine.
2-2 is fine, but 1-3 we got to start talking. 0-4 we've been talking, but
0-4 you got to pull the plug.
maybe. Depends on Trey Lance's performances in those losses if they lose. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I wonder what he's thinking right now and what's his future going to look like in the NFL.
Well, I think the thing is they wanted to find a trade partner for him. They wanted to find some kind of deal to put him on a decent team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or contending for playoffs. But I think the problem is that he was getting shoulder surgery that offseason, where teams didn't want to really take a chance on a guy.
So now he's the highest paid backup in the NFL. So
yeah, because I think he recovered from that injury, and also he is the best backup you have probably throughout the entire NFL. And honestly, he's better than some of the starters.
But why
right
sign
now
a
in the
no
league.
trade clause?
Because just in case Trey Lance gets hurt, right? Or like just in case the 49ers are they're not happy with Trey Lance's performance. Like, hey, like we got this backup who was our quarterback on the Super Bowl run, and also who was our quarterback when we made the NFC Championship last year. At least we have someone competent, right? Like, remember before when Jimmy G tore his ACL? Like, who was your quarterback? Like, C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins?
Mullins, C.J. Beathard. And we thought C.J. Beathard was the future. He came out of Iowa with like these super long like golden hair, and we were like, yeah, that's the guy. That's the future for the 49ers. We're going to be taking it to the Super Bowl with C.J. Beathard. But yeah, I mean, and then handsome Jimmy G. Like, bro, there's a picture
Porn star Jimmy.
Oh my God. But hey, I think what's in store for Jimmy G, he should be gone after this season. I don't think it's fair that he should be a backup. He should be starting somewhere. He deserves.
Yeah, I think
he
so
deserves
too.
to be a starter.
But not with the 49ers.
Oh, definitely not with the 49ers.
Like, especially after you trade like 3 first-round picks. Like you move heaven and earth to get Trey Lance, and like it'll just be a bad look if Jimmy G is starting. Like, okay, here's like a hypothetical scenario. Let's say like Trey Lance like underperforms, right?
Yeah.
And Jimmy G subs and he does great. I think you have to move on from Trey Lance and find him a team who.
Hey, I love Jimmy G, bro. So like, I 100% agree.
Because
like
Trey
Lance,
also it's
if he's
unfair
not
to Trey Lance to put that kind of pressure on him.
Jimmy G almost took us to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
One against the Chiefs, and then if not for that dropped Jaquiski Tart interception, we would have been playing in the Bengals.
But a lot of people are also arguing too. Oh, Jimmy G is carried by the defense and the run game, and even Jimmy G is actually the biggest liability.
We're still there, like, and based on whatever little sample size we have, we're losing with Trey Lance. I mean, obviously it's too early to say, but we need more time with Trey Lance, and that's why I'm saying reserve judgment for a month. But
my problem with this whole Trey Lance
I would
thing,
not be unhappy if Jimmy G came back, but it would look so bad for Kyle. It would look so bad for John Lynch if we get Jimmy G back. Like, bro, he's supposed to be gone.
Yeah. So what I was saying earlier, like my problem with this whole like Trey Lance Jimmy G thing was that the Niners have they have a Super Bowl contending roster outside of their quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You would argue like you got Debo, you got Ayuk, you got Kittle, you got a okay just offensive line, not the worst.
Yeah.
Your defensive ends, they're beasts, like they're like insane to deal with. And then their secondary is also like pretty solid as well. Warner and then Alshire and then Greenlaw. And then you got Charvarius Ward and Emmanuel Mosley. Like you got and Hufanga, man. He was their best.
Yeah. Yo, he's like
their best player
he
in that
looks
game.
like Troy Polamalu.
He was amazing.
He looks like Polamalu out there, bro.
Yeah, so like
I'm
the thing is
surprised.
you have that entire roster. There's no time for Trey Lance to develop and take those years to become that quarterback. No, you need to be the man right now.
Yeah, the Super Bowl roster, like everyone's calling this team a Super Bowl roster, it's there right now. So if he does not perform, we've wasted 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We got to get Jimmy G back in there, bro.
And
That's
also
the best
if Jimmy
chance we
G-
got for a
if
Super
Jimmy
Bowl.
G
And
does
this is a
well-
win now roster.
If Jimmy G does well and it'll be a really bad look on Trey Lance, I think you're gonna have to put Lance on a team where he can thrive and not under all this pressure. So maybe the possibility of trading Trey Lance might be a
what already?
No,
Oh
I'm
my.
saying if he does bad and Jimmy G does well, that's the only option.
Well, I don't know if the organization's going to backtrack that much. And it's just crazy to think about how many potential outcomes would be from this situation. So let's put a pin on this because, I mean, the 49ers they need to figure things out. So upcoming game, though, against Seattle, what do you think is going to happen?
Niners blow them out.
You think Niners are blowing the Seahawks out after they showed up against the Broncos?
Their defensive line is much better than Denver's. I'll give you that.
Okay.
And also home game, I really feel like the Niners they're more energized. Like you could feel it too. Like when they're at home, like they play with more motivation. I just feel like especially Debo. I feel like Debo's gonna show out. I just feel that way.
Yeah. And Debo shows up. How many? What is he gonna rush for a touchdown?
He's gonna rush more.
How's he gonna do?
He's gonna rush more for sure than passing or catching balls. So,
so he's
I think he's
the whole time.
I think he's gonna rush
after they forced 2 fumbles against Denver in the rushing. You think Debo Samuel's gonna be rushing it all on the Seattle defense?
I mean, Debo. I feel like he's gonna have like, you know what? I'm gonna say about 60 to 80 yards rushing.
Wow. Okay, 60 to 80 yards rushing for Debo.
With a touchdown.
And a touchdown. How many receiving yards?
He's probably going to catch like 3 or 4 passes for like 40.
Okay, so you're saying more rushing than receiving.
All around, he's going to have an all-around game of like 100 yards.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see. And you think Debo, how about Ayuk? Ayuk was pretty silent against Chicago, huh?
I honestly think Trey Lance has better chemistry with Ayuk than Samuel.
Yeah.
He got 2 catches for 40 yards, right? I think him and Ayuk will connect in this game. And also, like, remember that pass Trey Lance threw in the preseason to Danny Gray on the touchdown?
Oh, Danny Gray was out for Chicago game, I think.
Yeah.
So he's going to be back. Yeah.
I think you got to activate Danny Gray. Like, he'll be at least that deep threat, right?
Danny Gray did look good. Yeah. Well, my personal take, I mean, I hope the 49ers win. I'm going to be there. I hope it's a close game because, for the sake of old-time rivalries, I want it to be like a 26-23 type of game. So, 49ers win. We both think 49ers are going to win, but he thinks blowout. I think it's going to be a close game after how Seattle played in Denver. But, it all depends on Trey Lance. I mean, it just came out that this man was he was
making it rain. Hey, I got something. Where's the
wait.
I got something for y'all.
No, he's gonna make it rain.
Oh yeah, let's go right here.
Man was out here. Oh
wait. Yeah, let's go.
What
right
was
here.
that?
Let's go. How many?
This guy threw $60 in 20s. He threw $100.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I don't have another one. Right.
Oh my God!
I was just trying to make it rain like Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'll pick those up.
What are your thoughts on Trey Lance doing that? And is that something you want to see from your starting quarterback who's supposed to be the future for the franchise?
I mean, look, whoever leaked that video, like if I were Trey Lance and I knew of the person that leaked that video, I'd be so mad.
You'd be so mad. Would you sever?
Here's the thing. Apparently, like, would I sever?
Would you sever?
I mean, I would leave him on like delivered or whatever.
Oh my God!
I'll leave him on delivered for like
Just don't talk to him for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Apparently, like, that video that resurfaced, I think that was from the summer or something. That's what people were saying.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that was so. I feel like there's something going on the inside where, hey, like, Trey Lance, he lost. It looks like the Niners are in dysfunction with their whole QB thing. Why not, release a video of Trey Lance, partying when he should be studying film, right?
Yeah.
And, like, the thing is, like, look. He's 22 years old. Let him go to a strip club. Let him enjoy his life, man. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, live your life. You're not going to have these chances anyways. I mean,
Trey Lance.
He's single. He could do whatever he wants.
And then you're throwing $80 on the studio. And, bro, I hope you pick it up. Hopefully you don't forget any $20 bills.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't forget my cash.
Yeah. You're going to need that money back. I'm sure that's important money. But, man. Anyways, so that's the 49ers. Trey Lance, in my opinion, if that video's from the summer, I'll give him a little bit of a pass because, you want to blow off steam before you're, seriously studying and seriously getting at something for a season. Like, for example, me, I'm a pre-med, I'm applying to medical school, but I know that, before studying for the MCAT, and MCAT's a big test, you want to, have fun, you want to party a little bit.
You're not gonna go to a strip club, are you?
No. That's not me. But I'll go out to clubs and stuff. I'm not a strip club type of guy. A couple of my friends are, but not me. Okay. But I would definitely let out a little bit before I knew it was time to actually get serious. If that's from the summer, I'll give Trey Lance a pass. But if that was from the last week, bro, I would not be happy. I would not be happy if I was a 49ers fan.
That's not like the night before the game, so maybe that's like even if
not the night before the game, but the week after your loss.
Even
bro,
if that is
you
like
need to
even if that is like recent, like even if that is like recently or like this or he went to like a strip club like this past week.
Looked like a house party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like like I think a young man, you gotta let loose,
Like, even after but this is like you're supposed to be like
don't
serious
think, like,
now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like he's not gonna like film himself like studying, watching tape or whatever of like the last week's game. I think like I think he wants to like just
Yeah, you can have fun, but you can't be having like that level of fun. Like you gotta put like a cap on the fun you can have.
He's 22. I mean,
I'm 22. I'm not doing that sort of stuff.
Hey, but Trey Lance is not your average 22-year-old.
Okay, yeah, I mean fair. He's not an average 22-year-old. He's making big money. And
He's
if
not
you're
like us. He's not like us. Our average.
Yeah, he's
your
not
average
like
22-year-old,
you. He's not throwing $20 bills, 4 $20 bills in the table. Yeah, he's not like that. But
You might be throwing. You got those hundreds in there. You know what I'm saying?
they look like singles, I think.
They're singles.
I think they were singles.
Hey man, just gotta distribute the wealth.
Dude,
That's how it is.
Hella. Okay, fine. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up with some week 2 Sunday and Monday picks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the upcoming week and we're gonna
Do
give you
your
our thoughts.
picks.
We're gonna do your picks. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna look at week 2. We're gonna see what's up. So obviously Kansas City beat the LA Chargers.
I got that pick right.
Yeah, but how about let's fire it off. We'll fire it off. We'll give our picks and then we'll just move forward. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do Patriots at Steelers.
Steelers. The Patriots offense looks terrible.
But you think Bill Belichick's losing 2 in a row? I got the Patriots.
Matt Patricia can't run anything for his life. Do you know something like actually funny story, right? Apparently, like Kendrick Bourne was like late for like one meeting.
Uh-huh.
I think like a month before this game, or no, sorry, a month before the Dolphins game. It was like for like a week 2 preseason game, right? And like I think he was like there were like some altercations he was having too or something. There was like some reports going on, like he was having like there were like some like issues going with the coaching staff, whatever. Kendrick Bourne,
former 49er.
Yeah, former 49er. They were so mad at that. He was only in the Miami game. He was only there for 2 plays.
2 plays for Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne. And you know what? One of the plays was a 41-yard catch.
But hey, remember Jonas Gray had like a 201-yard game, and then he pissed off Bill Belichick.
He was late to like a
and then he didn't
meeting.
play the next week. So this is just what Bill Belichick does. This is how he enforces discipline.
This was actually what I read. This was a Matt Patricia thing. This wasn't even a Belichick thing.
Oh, really?
This is a Matt Patricia thing. Yeah. So... Like the one play, they were down like I think 20-7. It was like very late in the fourth quarter, and you get your one explosive play from a guy who only played 2 plays. He played 2 plays, and one of them was a 41-yard when the game was pretty much out of reach. So
I think the coaching staff learns. I think the Patriots win. They need to win.
I think that Steelers defense, though. I mean,
it is a good. But hey,
offense,
T.J. Watt is out with a torn pec.
But still, Cam Hayward's there. I mean, you still got Minka Fitzpatrick. Like that defense is still good. Cam Sutton, like
we'll see. How about Colts at Jaguars?
Colts, man. Jaguars, man. I know you almost had your win, but you're still not there yet.
Yeah, I think the Colts win that as well. Jaguars may put up a little bit of fight, but Colts should win this, and they need to win this because they just
haven't
got
won in Jacksonville in a long time, actually. So this might be the
But
one
this
time
is not a must-win
break
game.
their
Like
streak.
this is a second week. They need to make a statement. I think they should win. All right. How about Jets at Browns?
Browns win. I mean, look, you're not going to win anything with Joe Flacco as your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I think also I need to add something. Like Chubb is great, but I think the Browns need to do a better job of incorporating Amari Cooper in their offense. Like, Amari Cooper is wide open on a lot of plays. Brissett just missed him, so I think they need to do a better job of that.
Hopefully they've identified that, and I think the Browns win as well. How about Dolphins at Ravens?
Man, just because the Ravens are at home, I'm going to give them the edge. Okay. I think, Lamar Jackson, he wants
Dolphins
to play.
Dolphins do look good, but yeah,
Lamar Jackson wants to play for that big money contract.
Yeah.
I feel like Lamar Jackson, I read he put on a lot of muscle too. He looks a lot stronger. And I feel like, Lamar Jackson plays well against the Dolphins. So, I remember his MVP year, right? Remember he exploded like 5 touchdowns that one game. So I think he's going to play well. I think it'll be a close game. But I think the Ravens pull this off. Justin Tucker, game-winning field goal.
I agree. Oh, you think it's going to be a game-winning field goal coming down? Actually, yeah, I can see that. It's going to be a close game.
It's Justin Tucker.
It's going to be a close game. But, yeah, Ravens win. How about, we all know this, Texans at Broncos.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Okay, I got the Broncos as well. We don't need to dwell on that any longer.
Yeah,
Titans at Bills.
Bills.
Yeah,
look,
me too. Bills.
You lost to the Giants.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's done for you.
Yeah, like you're done. Derrick Henry might do like some damage, because it's Derrick Henry at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
man, this Bills defense improved a lot.
No. The
Adding
Bills.
Von Miller
I'm telling you,
changes
the
up
Bills.
everything.
The Bills are winning.
By the way, I made a mistake starting or like not starting the Buffalo Bills defense in my fantasy league. They did so well because I thought the Rams, had that explosive offense and all
You'll
that.
make sure you don't make that mistake
Yeah,
this time.
I'm starting the Bills defense this fantasy week.
Okay.
So,
Cardinals at Raiders.
The Cardinals don't have a defense, so I
Yeah,
think the
they got
Raiders
torched by
bounce
Kansas
back.
City.
I think Carr cuts down on his mistakes. I think
Mhm.
he'll distribute the ball. I think Jacobs is gonna have a big game. So I think the Raiders win by 6 or 7.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Raiders win this as well. Yeah, and I
Having
agree
D-Hop
completely.
Either, like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, D-Hop's still out for 5 more games. So, okay, Bengals at Cowboys.
yeah, like with no Dak, like I think the Bengals win this easily.
Easily.
And also even with Dak, like I was still gonna pick the Bengals regardless. Like
Really?
the Cowboys, like look, you saw like against Tampa, like even when Dak was there without the injury, they weren't doing anything.
Mhm.
CeeDee Lamb's not a number 1 receiver.
I agree. Yeah,
On a,
he's not,
on a
he's not been
championship
number
team,
one
CeeDee Lamb is a number 3 receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think Bengals win that one, and I'm sorry, it looks like Dallas is heading straight for last in their division. How about Bucks at Saints?
So this is like this is probably like the toughest like pick of the week I've had.
Yeah.
I feel like Kamara may not play. They said he has a rib injury, and they said he's questionable. So I don't know. But also Godwin's out for the Bucks. Julio's questionable. Mike Evans is questionable. Russell Gage is questionable. Rashad Perriman's questionable. So you have all these
many
like,
questionables.
Yeah. So you have like all these kind of players, like they're a little banged up, and they're dealing with some things. But I feel like the Saints at home, like I'm gonna take the Saints at home because I feel like the Saints have always figured out the Buccaneers in the regular
Yeah.
season.
Wow. And
they
we're in
got that
agreement.
defense.
Yeah, I also think the Saints are gonna win it.
And
I mean,
is Marshawn Lattimore gonna shut down Mike Evans like he always does? For some reason, like
Yeah.
Mike Evans does not do well against Marshawn.
there's always
Lattimore,
these
so-
weird things about like divisional battles where like the team you don't expect to win wins, and I think that's a clear case of what that's gonna be this time. The Saints are gonna win this time. How about the Panthers at Giants?
Baker, man.
You think Panthers
It's
are gonna win
Baker
it?
time. Yeah.
Oh man.
Let me tell you something. Look, Baker had a little sloppy game last week. It wasn't his best. I guess that I think his mind was consumed with the fact that this is a revenge game. I'm gonna get revenge on these guys instead of treating it like this is just another football game. You know what? Let me just play my game and take care of business.
Mom came in.
Yeah. So I think Baker. I think they're gonna be more focused in this week. I think they gotta utilize their weapons more. Like play DJ Moore, get him involved in better like formations, better sets. Like DJ Moore's your best weapon. Got to use him more in the receiving game. I'm saying. And also I think McCaffrey, he had a pretty mediocre game too. So I expect the Panthers to bounce back. I expect Baker to like have that fire in him because if there's one thing about Baker, like I know Baker bounces back and he always has like some motivation within him. So I feel the Panthers are going to bounce
I
back.
disagree, man. I think the Giants going for 2 was huge, and that's going to shift their whole momentum because when they went for 2, that showed that Brian Daboll believes in this team. That shows Brian Daboll believes in Saquon Barkley. And I think Saquon Barkley has taken that. And, players feed off their coach's energy. So when you know a coach believes in you that much, where you go for 2 and you hand the ball off to Saquon and he wins the game for you, I think the Giants have a newfound respect. I think the Giants have finally got their things together, at least for the time being.
They beat a relatively good team last week.
I think the Giants win this. I think they continue their winning ways, and this is going to fuel their team going forward. This is finally the season where I think Daniel Jones shows up to the best of his ability, and I think Saquon is going to have the best season he's had in a while.
I don't think Baker can afford to go 0-2 though. I feel like that's just going to play a factor, and I feel like they're going to have a much better game plan. I think Baker's going to be more focused.
Yeah.
I know, he's not the best quarterback,
Maybe.
but I feel like he's gonna have a pretty good game. So
Okay. Well, we'll agree to disagree. Obviously Daniel Jones has always been a big question mark for me, and I agree Baker Mayfield is better than Daniel Jones, but I don't know. Just something about this Giants team. I think they can win it. All right, let's move on. How about the Commanders at Lions?
give me the Commanders. Give me Carson. Walk it to him Wentz.
Oh my God!
Because guess what? Last week, everyone was like, Carson Wentz led 2 drives for touchdowns and those interceptions, and everyone's like, here we go, same old Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz like, nah, I got weapons this time. And guess what?
Terry McLaurin.
Scary
to
Terry.
To be
Scary Terry and Jahan Dotson. That was a great catch.
Oh, yeah, the new guy. Yeah, Jahan Dotson.
Carson Wentz was like, you know what? I'm going to go down the field and score twice. These, like I said earlier in the podcast, like, yo, these are Carson Wentz's best receivers he's ever had. Jeez. And you know what? He's going to make it work. The Commanders are winning that division. They're going to prove a lot of people wrong. Carson Wentz, you know, I think one thing that was really underrated, last week, I think Ron Rivera, after the game, he gave Carson Wentz the game ball. He was saying, you know, Carson's, you know, been through a lot of stuff. You know, he's had a rough offseason. You know, people doubted him. They've been
slandering his name in the last
They've been
season.
slandering his name and all that. You know, just to give him that game ball, to give him that confidence and to say, like, you know what, this is our guy. I think Carson Wentz, you know, for the first time in a while, he feels loved. And I feel like, yeah, like he feels loved. I feel like they actually appreciate Carson Wentz and they finally feel they have a real number one quarterback since Kirk Cousins. So
that's a cute story, but it ain't about, you know, it's about Detroit, man. Detroit is finally turning things around. I liked their performance against the Eagles late. I think Detroit is finally going to get it together, and I think Detroit's going to win this game. Detroit is going to beat the Commanders, and everyone loves Dan Campbell, man. That guy, he you know what he says? He likes eating people's kneecaps and stuff like that, spitting in their mouth or something. I don't know.
Yeah, all Detroit that just to go 0-2.
Well, I think Detroit can finally get it going this time. But let's move on. How about Falcons at Rams?
Here's the thing, right? Of course, okay, look, I'm just gonna be straight up, like, I'm picking the Rams, but don't take the Falcons lightly.
Okay.
Like, I really feel like Falcons have some potential to, like, their offense has a lot of potential. I think with the Mariota being like that dual threat quarterback, you know, we saw he was able to run. I think, you know, they beat themselves last week, the Falcons. They should have beat the Saints, honestly. Mm-hmm. Drake London's a promising rookie. Kyle Pitts is, you know, going to be a great tight end. You know, Cordarrelle Patterson, I don't know. For some reason, you know, late in his career, he realized he was a running back, right? So, and then, you know, he decided to be like a beast of a running back. So, I think that offense has potential, you know, to do some good stuff. So, like, don't take the Falcons lightly. If I were the Rams, like, don't take them lightly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, this could be a trap game, and the Rams could fall to them. But, you know, I expect, you know, Sean McVay to bounce back. I expect, you know, the Rams to actually look at Allen Robinson's way. Like, you paid this guy pretty good money to, like, target him only twice.
Yeah, no, the Rams should figure it out. The Falcons are, I mean, they'll give them a battle, but the Rams should win this. It's embarrassing if they lose this. They need to win this. All right. We've already said this a little bit. Seattle at San Francisco. We're both going San Francisco, right? I don't think there's much to talk about that. Bears at Packers. How about that?
I mean, look, I know that Aaron Rodgers, like, the Packers, like, we shouldn't take them too seriously in week one. Mm-hmm. We saw that last year. I know Devontae and Valdez-Scantling were there last year, but still, they got blown out 38-3. I mean, and then, you know, they had the best record in the league.
Yeah.
Rodgers got MVP. They were the number one seed. Yeah, they choked, but, you know, they still bounced back really well. Mm-hmm. So I really expect, like, you know, the rookie receivers to, you know, get their shit together, you know, not drop that wide open touchdown Christian
Watson, yeah, dropping that pass.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I feel like Aaron Rodgers, he has to show better leadership in those moments by saying, like, hey, like, you know what, like, I'm going to target you, like, this next play, like, you know what, go make a catch on this one.
You're questioning Rodgers' leadership?
I mean, a lot of teammates have, honestly, if you look at it. Like, you know, here's the thing, right? Like, after that drop pass, Christian Watson didn't see another ball thrown towards his way until when the game was over.
And that must have killed his confidence.
Yeah, like, you don't kill a rookie's confidence like that. Well, you got to understand when you're playing with, like, rookies, second-year players, like, you got to understand, like, hey, you got to, like, give these confidence boosters, like, hey, like, you dropped the catch. Okay, like, why don't we just run a screenplay or a jet sweep? Yeah. Like, why don't you do something for these guys? Like, that'll help build their confidence.
I think
you just can't shit on them and be like, hey, like, I'm not going to throw to you again.
I think Packers win this game, and
I honestly think it'll be a much closer game than expected.
Yeah, it should be a close game. And Bears are still not, like, they're still not over the Rodgers being like, I own you and stuff like that. So it should be a pretty the Heat. They should bring the Heat this time. So what are they now? This is a Sunday night game, I think.
Sunday night.
This is Sunday night. So this is a primetime game.
Sunday night in Lambeau. Yeah, you got to show up, Rodgers.
And finally, Vikings at Eagles. How about that?
I'm going with the Vikings.
You're going with the Vikings?
I'm going with the Vikings.
How about the Vikings?
Listen, the Eagles, yeah, they put up 38 on the Lions, but dude, the Lions don't have like this tremendous defense. The Vikings, the signing Zadarius Smith was huge. They still got Patrick Patterson.
They do look really good.
Daniil Hunter, Zadarius Smith. That's a scary duo.
Yeah.
Up front. Also, man, with this Kevin O'Connell offense, Jettas is gonna go off.
You think?
As a team that didn't draft him, especially when the team that had a chance to draft him and they chose, Jalen Rager. Now he's
they
on
were
the Vikings.
laughing. Yeah. Well, he's not gonna do much on the Vikings.
Yeah, but Jefferson.
Jefferson's that guy.
He
is that guy.
And I feel like, I think the Vikings offense could have, put up more points against the Packers, but I feel like, with that big lead, they're playing conservative. And I feel like, the Vikings, I really feel like they're going to win their division this year. So,
okay. I was going to ask you that. You think the Vikings win the division?
Yeah.
I think it's still close between Green Bay and Minnesota, but yeah, a lot of people say Minnesota's going to win that division. I think Minnesota has a very good case of winning that division, but I just still think it's going to be close. I think Philadelphia is going to win this game. I'm going to say that because it's at Philadelphia.
Hurts can't throw, though.
If this is in Minnesota, I would give this to Minnesota. I think these teams are very evenly matched. They both have great offenses. I mean, bro, A.J. Brown went off. The defenses, well, we could say different about Philly's defense, but they should get it together. They still got good players on that Philly team, so I don't know why they struggled so much.
But I do expect them to get Devontae Smith involved more. He only had 4 targets. He
Yeah.
didn't catch anything.
And Philly wide receivers are stacked. They got Devontae Smith. They got
AJ Brown.
And
the tight end Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert as tight end. Yeah. So I think Philly wins this, but I'm gonna give that to them just because it's at home. And Minnesota is kind of
So we actually disagreed on a few picks here and there this time.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of our picks are usually similar, but this time I felt like there were a lot of differences in this one. So
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see this Sunday who is gonna win. But as of now, that is all for the Borty and Ganti show, or Borty and Nihar show. Sorry, we were talking about podcast names right before this podcast, and we were like, what should we call this? So
please let us know what name we should use. Give us some ideas,
if you don't like
please.
Borty and Nihar show, let us know what we should be called. And honestly, we'll start doing some polls. We'll start take some not fan. We don't have fans. We'll take some people's questions. Whoever, we'll get fans, but fans, you guys are the fans. But we'll ask questions from you guys, and maybe we can get more takes on the show. If you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up. Would love to have you guys on the show. But this is our pilot episode. How do you think we did?
Yeah, I thought we went pretty well. I think I think the setup was harder.
The setup was harder than the actual
getting all all the topics and everything.
Yeah, the setup was crazy.
The setup took an hour or so, right?
Yeah, it took an hour, and that was and also a little bit too before you came as well. And my dad was yelling at me and stuff. My dad's always yelling at me. So, yeah, I mean, props to my dad. He really helped set this up as well. He helped show me a bunch of stuff that we could use. But yeah, I like this episode. I think this is a really cool thing that we're doing, and hopefully we can get this going for you guys every week. If you guys like this, let us know. Hit us up. Say, yo, I dig what you guys did. If you guys hate this, let us know. Say, yo, you guys need to quit and go back to whatever you guys do for your jobs, which is nothing pretty much. And then if you guys want to be on the show, hit us up too. And we'll leave it at that. So thank you guys so much for coming. It's been your boy Borty. It's been your boy Nihar. This is the Borty and Nihar show.
Sir.
And we're still taking recommendations, and we could use constructive criticism and feedback. So appreciate you all. But yeah, that's the show. And thank you for coming. Until next time.